Look, people, we've got to have a talk about these introductions to the videos, because I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who sits down at a chair, talks into a webcam about video games and how the industry's changing and not for the better. A little whinge, and oh God, and his arm just falls off. I'm just a guy whose arm falls off for no reason. Oh, sweet. Oh, it's back. Oh, thank God. Look, so if you just watch the intros and then if you hit the like button right now, that's all I ask for. Look, I'm gonna check the likes to see if you have, and that will make all these feel better. So I'm sorry that there was no intro today. I'll try and think of one for tomorrow. Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. What? Why are you looking at me like that? What? I behave. It's Az here from HeelvsBabyface, and today we're going to be talking about Jaina Proudmoore, who's on the screen right now. And as you can see, this is the Hearthstone Jaina Proudmoore, and Hearthstone next month turns 5 years old. Congratulations, Hearthstone. Whereas today, my mother turns 75 years old. So now that video at Christmas, it's actually spot on now. Anywho, this is the classic Jaina avatar. This is actually the avatar based off Jaina's costume, which she wore in the World of Warcraft for donkey's years. Until recently, Battle for Azeroth changed her outfit and it became more Cold Tyrian in nature. I keep saying Cold Tyrian, and it drives people crazy. So I should have said Cold Tyrian. Anywho, so what's wrong? No, this is it. Classic Jaina. But, after this costume being around for probably a decade or more, and nearly 5 years in Hearthstone, on Tuesday, this happened. A patch went out, and Jaina's modesty was modested. It was censored. It was changed. Now, you might just be saying to yourself, yeah, so what? No, and that's fair enough. In the grand scale of life, this doesn't mean too much. It's what it potentially represents. So, we got to think of the reasons why, because Blizzard are not apparently responding to questions as to why this has happened. I myself have tweeted them. I said, why have you covered up Jaina's bust? Isn't that body shaming? You know? I mean, come on. If we're going to play by the lefties' rules, then if you're censoring something on a woman, doesn't that mean you are body shaming? But that's just by the by. And allegedly, I don't know if this is true, because I've only had this second-hand information sent through, but apparently threads in the forums are being locked that are discussing this. Now, that could be for multiple different reasons, because we are talking about a certain part of the body. But Blizzard have not said why they have made this tweak. So if we were to speculate, for instance, do you think it's probably done because they said, we think she's actually showing off a little bit too much? Well, I would actually say no. And the reason why I'd say no is, number one, it was her costume in the World of Warcraft before it is her costume here on her avatar in Hearthstone. And number two, Hearthstone turns 5 next month. So they can't have had this avatar for 5 years and then suddenly decided, yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much. And I got to be perfectly honest with you here. None of this actually crossed my mind. This isn't what I thought about. I went immediately to what I thought would be the source. No, this is what came to mind. Now, what you're looking at on the screen is Rainbow Six Siege. Did a video about this last year sometime. And their community was a little bit annoyed because the people, Ubisoft, ultimately, at the end of the day, Ubisoft made the decision to alter some aesthetics in the game. Now, none of this had any impact on the game whatsoever in a competitive way. This was purely aesthetic. But they changed multiple different things. They covered up skulls. They got rid of gambling machines, ironically enough. They changed this dancer. A dancer for money. Any old music will do. A private... okay, all right. And then on the right-hand side, this is what they actually changed it to. And there was bloodstains that were taken off walls and things like this. So what was it all about? It was all about censorship. It was all about making the game ready for China. They wanted to be able to just have one source for the game. And if they wanted to go into China, they had to adhere to the very strict Chinese censorship rules. And so they made all these changes, just implemented in the game, didn't tell anyone. And then when they came out, their community was very unhappy. Now, they weren't unhappy because of the, tweaks and changes per se. They were unhappy that their game was being meddled with purely to meet the standards of one country. Purely to do that. So it's just like, this country gets everything that it wants, and everyone else has to just live with it. Hashtag deal with it, as it used to be. God, that's not been a thing for like 5 years, has it? Okay. But that was the real purpose. It was one rule for one and one rule for the other. They were showing favoritism because they wanted to push their product into China. Now, this is what I think has happened here. Ultimately, this means nothing at the end of the day in terms of how it affects Hearthstone play. Already, I've seen the comments in chat where people have gone, well, actually, I like a good bit of stimulation. Helps me play better. Whatever. Okay, whatever. But if I jump to this now, we can see 3 Blizzard Entertainment games which actually failed the Chinese censorship rules. Overwatch, the game visuals promote incorrect values. I don't have to even go into that demonetization. In Harmonious Chat Room, that means that the chat room isn't censored and people can speak freely. Diablo, in a Harmonious Chat Room again, and game missions include fraud, whatever that means. And World of Wowcraft, this is the interesting one. In Harmonious Chat Room again, you can speak freely. Overtly revealing female characters. This is what I think has happened. I think Blizzard are reacting to the potential censorship of Hearthstone in China. This is what I think it's about. Because at the end of the day, this can't have anything to do with the actual image itself. It's a great image. It's a very powerful image. Look at the face. That is, that's a face of a warrior right there. Ready for battle. Spells are beginning to power up. The storm's coming down. Her hair's blowing in the wind. It's very dramatic. It's not a kinky boots type of a picture at all. So I think this is Blizzard pandering to China because Blizzard are China's bitch. We know that. Blizzard are desperate to get into China and they're literally crawling in there on their hands and knees like a little bitch, saying, "Hey China, can we have your money?" They're begging for China's money, and they're begging on their knees like the little bitch that they are. And it's just really kind of like stupid at the end of the day. It's just stupid and sad that they have to resort to this sort of thing. It's stupid and it's sad that they have to censor a great artist's piece because they want to push somewhere else. Why couldn't they have had a different version? Now, I could be wrong, and they could have made these changes because, I don't know, maybe someone else's fictitious 7-year-old daughter came up to them and was like, "Daddy," or Mummy, of course. It's probably Mummy now, or actually probably won't even go there. Mummy, I've just turned on Hearthstone, and I don't understand why I can see a slight piece of a lady's voluptuous chest. And, of course, the mother turns to her daughter. No, the daughter goes, why, Mummy? Why is it like that? And then the mother turns to the daughter and just goes, I don't know. I don't know. You know, that's to go together with the fictitious 7-year-old conversation that Chris Metzen had with his daughter, and the fictitious conversation that, I forget what he's called, from ex-EA guy, moron. Don't buy it, don't buy Battlefield 5. Okay, we didn't. And the fictitious conversation he had with his 7-year-old daughter, and then, and I'm not trying to get political here, folks, but my God, I have been ready to pull the plug on Twitter today, because I've seen it all over Twitter after yesterday's American State of the Union address, or whatever. I had my 7-year-old daughter say to me, she was just like, Mummy, why is that orange man bad? And I said, I don't know. These stupid, fictitious stories about flipping little girlies or little children just going, Mummy, I'm fully aware of the political situation going on in Afghanistan, and I don't know why. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. The whole thing is just nonsense. So yeah, Blizzard covering this up is either, one, complete nonsense for nonsensical reasons that has no real bearing, why bother doing it, or number two, because Blizzard are China's little bitch. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Just don't give me any stories about any 7-year-olds that you've got being woke and crap like that. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.